I did this yesterday, right, and the lid wasn't on, and I was gutted. It went everywhere. I've had like quite a financial journey the past couple of years. I've gone from being pregnant in a pandemic and being self-employed, so not having a maternity leave, and all marketing work just disappeared. And I think around like £12,000, or just under £12,000 that year. I got a part-time job offer for like 16,000, so like 28,000 pro rata. I got a job offer at 40,000 full-time. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I've made it. I've got like a great salary and stuff. And then once I got onto that job, I thought I had a lot of money, so I spent a lot of money, and I got myself into £8,000 in credit card debt across 2 cards. From that point in time of being in credit card debt, I have had to teach myself so much about money. I thought that the only thing I needed to do in life to learn about money and to manage money was to increase my income. I never thought about what I did with that money once it landed in my bank. See, like, lifestyle creep is so real, and it will like bite you on the butt. And I taught myself a ton about how to manage money and stuff. I got myself out of that £8,000 worth of credit card debt, built emergency savings. I've since increased my income again, and am now earning additional income from content creation, but I'm not ruining it. Like, I'm not just like getting rid of it all so quickly. So it could be really, really useful, and hopefully this is so helpful for anyone else, just to go over literally like the few money habits that I keep today. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm honestly not exaggerating when I say that they changed my life. Yeah, I'll go get a comfy seat and chat through these money habits. Got some dairy milk buttons, because why not? Off with the most like important ones, I would say, and end off on a one that I feel like most people can relate to, and they're probably lying if they say that they've never felt this way about money before in the past. My first habit I needed to actually implement was actually budgeting my income. I used to go off of like how I felt with my money. So if I was feeling really great about my money, if I wasn't, or whatever, that would like impact how I spent it, rather than actually looking at the numbers and knowing the numbers. And budgeting basically has made me see my money as numbers rather than just operating off of like a feeling. So for instance, when I got that first like really secure salary that I was really happy with at the time of 40,000, I had a feeling attached to that, which was like of comfort and excess and excitement around money, and I tied that job to like my ability to buy more stuff basically. When I looked at the numbers and I looked at the fact that like, because I now had a full-time job, my daughter had to go into full-time childcare, I realized, okay, I need to remove this idea of this salary amount in my head, and I actually just focus on what is left. And the next habit that I built in connection to budgeting was a payday routine. My payday routine sets me up for like financial success and puts all of like the positive habits that I've got with my money, and it like kickstarts the month forward. So things like paying off my credit card in full, putting money into savings, keeping up with investments is like a new initiative that I have and stuff. All of that stuff is done on payday, and I make it into like one routine that I really enjoy. The next money habit that I have also links to payday and a positive feeling around payday, and kind of is something that I've really had to change, is to stop having a payday mentality in terms of spending. So now like my payday mentality is to organize my money. In my past, my payday mentality was to buy a payday treat. But it didn't just stick to payday. It extended to like the first week of the month. The next thing I knew, even when I would set myself like a pocket money for like spending in the month, I used to spend that within the first week, you know. And then I was like utilizing my credit card to like get through my plans in the rest of the month. I was just in this cycle because payday to me meant treat yourself. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't mean treat yourself by any means, but what I do now is I obviously have like an amount of money that I will spend for myself every single month on miscellaneous things. Out of that money, if I have any of it left over at the end of the month on payday, that is the money I use for my payday treat. So I basically will still give myself like that payday treat feeling, but it's came from a different pocket of money, and it's dependent on how well my spending goes within the month. And some months I have a payday treat, other months I don't. This month I got a new book. I'm absolutely loving this series. It's probably going to be like my payday treat book for like the rest of the series. It's like £4 something on Amazon. So again, it doesn't have to be like a ton of money or anything, but it's switching up my mentality, and it's switching up that habit to have it come from income that is already there rather than dipping into the income coming in that month and then kicking off like a cycle of spending from it. It's a game changer. I definitely recommend trying it if you haven't already. Next money habit, right? I did not know how great it would be until it started to come into action, and it came into action just this month gone in May when we had our first holiday. So this money habit is to build saving pots. My god, it has changed my life, and I'm not even just saying that. Like, this holiday just gone, all of that spending money for that holiday came from money I had in my little saving pot for Cyprus. It's been the first time ever that a key event like a holiday, Christmas, birthday, anything hasn't had to come from disposable income within the month. And anyone else who has high outgoings or low income will know that all it takes is for one birthday to roll around and then you're financially squeezed. I had decided, I think back in like November, that I was going to start saving up every single month for things that I knew were going to like squeeze my finances quite a bit in the coming year. That was like my holiday to Cyprus, Christmas, and wanting to save up for little bits of house decor. Like, we live in a new build and we still don't have blinds, and we've been in here for over a year. It's been so nice to have gone on this holiday and have it not interrupt like any of my saving initiatives. It hasn't made me go over budget this month. It's like I'm fully on track with everything, and even like, you know, now looking forward to Christmas, I know that Christmas won't cost a lot that month because I'm already pre-prepared for it, and all I do is put £20 a month away for Christmas. I would 100% recommend trying saving pots if you haven't already. They're incredible. Next one, right, will hopefully resonate with some people, or it might just be me that was this bad with spending their money. I feel like I've only just started to learn how to think more long term, and I know that might sound ridiculous to some people, but like, I feel like with my money in particular, I just would only think of the month I was in. And whilst it is lovely to be in the present and all of that stuff, I wasn't using anything in the now to help set me up for later on. For instance, with saving pots, that extends beyond just saving for things within the year. It extends to like investing, having emergency savings, like how I pay off my car loan. I wasn't even thinking of anything like that. I was just thinking of like the money I would have in the month and basically what I would get to do in that month. Because I wasn't thinking very long term, everything felt quite disposable, if that makes sense. Like, disposable income truly was just going away. It wasn't getting used for anything else at all. It was literally just getting chucked away. Thinking long term is something that I feel like is hardwired into my brain now. Like, I'm always looking ahead. The money habit that has without a doubt changed my life has literally been so simple. Has been to just check my banking apps, face my money. Like, I cannot tell you how much I used to fear opening up my banking app. Like, I literally used to hate it. If I ever got cash out at a cash point and it was like, do you want to view your balance? I'd be like, no. Like, I hated facing the state of my money. And now I check things pretty much every day. Like, I'm always looking, and I think it's so smart to do for so many reasons, to make sure there's no like dodgy payments happened, or like, you know, it's so wise to check your bank. But I know it sounds so stupid, but I don't know if anyone else in their like teens, early 20s and stuff was bad with money and then just kind of like had this fear around facing their finances and stuff. I was so bad for it, right? It's probably been the easiest, but probably one of the most impactful money habits. It started me wanting a budget, and then once I learned the budgeting method for me, that kicked off my payday routine. And then once I had a payday routine, I got into like that correct payday treat mentality. Once I got into that, I was thinking more long term, and I built saving pots, and it just all kick-started from such small habits and such small changes to now genuinely feeling like I'm actually a really like confident person when it comes to my personal finances. And I never thought I would be like that. I feel so happy to have these habits in place now, and I just couldn't recommend them more to anyone else looking to kind of like shape up their finances in any way. So those are the money habits that have literally changed my life. If you want to see any of these money habits in action and stuff, you can view one of my payday routines. I post on here pretty much every week, so I will see you in another video. Bye.